Good morning, class. Welcome to another lesson in RA2. And today we will continue our lesson on the overview of ethics. Last time we have learned the definition of ethics and its importance, and today we will learn the major ethical systems. That is Module 2.2. Are you ready? Alright, let's begin. What are our DLOs for today? At the end of the lesson, the students would have explained the 6 major ethical systems, distinguished which ethical system best applies to their Christian life. Let's take a look at the 6 major ethical systems. The first one is Antinomianism. What is Antinomianism? This term is derived from the Greek words anti, meaning against, and nomos, meaning law. Antinomianism affirms that there are no moral or general laws. For example, stealing is not right or wrong, inasmuch as there are no objective moral laws in the system. Deciding what is right and wrong is subjective and personal. Antinomianism literally means against the law. It says that there are no binding absolute moral law and everything is relative. 3 historical movements carried antinomianism. We have processism, which believes that everything was in process and no law should be absolute. Hedonism believes that pleasure rules and pain is to be avoided. And skepticism argue that all judgment must be suspended because there is always 2 sides of a moral position. Let's take a look at these pictures which tell us about antinomianism. The second one is generalism. What is generalism? Generalism teaches that there are no absolute laws, only some general ones. Therefore, stealing is generally wrong, but there may be times when it is permissible. In this scheme, the end justifies the means. If the consequence is good, stealing is not wrong. Generalism believes that there are universally binding moral laws, but believe that they are only generally binding and not absolutely binding. It includes utilitarian position, which says that whatever brings about the greatest good for the greatest number of people is morally right. It is the heir of ancient hedonism, which believed that pleasure is the greatest good. Acts are judged morally right by examining their end results, and there is no meaning apart from the result. According to Nicolò Machiavelli, the end justifies the means. Let's take a look at this picture. According to the secret agent, yes, torture is bad, but we got some good information, so it's justified. About the robber, he said, armed robbery is bad, but we got some good stuff, so it's justified. So those are examples of generalism. Let's proceed to the third one, which is situationism. What is situationism? This maintains that there is one absolute law, and that is love. So, stealing may be right if a person does it as an act of love. Keep someone from starving to death. Everything except love is relative. This is an example of a love story wherein the woman would do evil in the name of love. But let us remember, according to 1 Corinthians 13:6, love does not delight in evil. Love others well, and don't hide behind a mask. Love authentically, despise evil, pursue what is good as if your life depends on it, according to Romans 12 verse 9. The fourth one is the conflicting absolutism. What is the conflicting absolutism? It believes that there are many absolute laws that do conflict, but we should choose the lesser evil. Therefore, stealing is forgivable when we face moral dilemmas. We must decide which absolute laws to keep and then ask for forgiveness for the one we break. It believes that God does not desire that moral dilemmas occur, and in the original perfect world He created, they would not have. It believes in four basic premises: that God's law is absolute, moral conflicts are unavoidable, the duty is to do the lesser evil, and forgiveness is available. However, there's a problem. How can one have a moral obligation to do what is immoral? And if conflicts are unavoidable in life, then Jesus must have sinned at some point. Let's take a look at this example. Others believe that it is better to cheat than to repeat. But Garcia says, constantly choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil. The fifth one is known as graded absolutism. What is graded absolutism? It affirms that there are many absolute laws that are conflicting, but we should obey the higher law. So, stealing is sometimes right. When we face moral dilemmas or problems, we must decide which absolute law is more important than the others, and then follow it, making it permissible to break the others. There are higher and lower moral laws according to this belief system, and there are unavoidable moral conflicts. One law must yield to the other in conflicts. The higher law should be kept. Jesus speaks of weightier matters of the law, the least and the greatest commandment, and no guilt is imputed for the unavoidable. It says here, for the example, that in America we have different set of laws. If there is a conflict between a lower law and a higher one, the higher one prevails. And finally, we have the last, which is the unqualified absolutism. What is the unqualified absolutism? It asserts that there are many absolute laws, but they are not in conflict with each other, and this is the biblical view. Therefore, stealing is always immoral. In reality, no absolute law, such as truth or love, or the sanctity of life may be broken without consequences. It believes that the end never justifies the means. Its basic beliefs are moral conflicts between two absolute moral laws never really occur, and God's unchanging character is the basis of moral absolutes. And God cannot contradict Himself. Hence, no two absolute moral laws can really conflict. So all moral conflicts are only apparent and not real. It recognizes that moral acts are intrinsic. That is, the end result is not the final determiner of what is really good, and trusts God's providence in all situations. According to Ayn Rand, the end does not justify the means. No one's rights can be secured by the violation of the rights of others. Does the end justify the means? Certainly not. That's all for today, and may you always choose to obey what is right according to the Word of God, no matter what. Thank you, and this has been Sir JV. God bless, and see you on another lesson about ethics. To God be the glory.